My name is Christian Palmer. I was born May 20th, 1966, and I am a firefighter in Fresno, California. Before I became a firefighter, I went to junior college, transferred to a four-year college, and got my bachelor's degree. I proceeded to work for a little bit, and was then hired by the station. But I didn't just wake up one day and decide to be a firefighter. I was influenced by my roommate, who was a firefighter. I went on some ride-alongs to get the feel for the job. And I also took an aptitude test, which pointed me toward the career I have today. When I first started thinking of becoming a firefighter, I was looking for a job that I could do that was reliant on others, and one where I could help people. But I had to put a lot of time, energy, and effort researching about being a firefighter before I decided to become one. When I told my family, they were very supportive of what I wanted to do, and they are still supportive of my choices and help me believe I am making a difference and that I made the right choice. The life of a firefighter is a dangerous one, but there are some upsides. The pay is fairly good, but that depends on what state you're currently serving in, and the benefits that each individual firefighter has. The hours are really good. 56 hours a week, 48 hours on, 96 hours off. But just because there are upsides does not mean there aren't any downsides. And those downsides can include missing holidays and other family events when on call. But it's a very tight-knit group of individuals that I serve alongside. My fellow firefighters are my friends, and the station is my home. In Fresno alone, there are 3 stations, and around 400 people work at one station, but they're not all on duty at one time. There are 3 to 8 people in the station at one time, and everyone has a role or duty. Duties around the station include housekeeping, cooking, business meetings, and calls or practice, but they're not routine. Other than that, there are not many downsides of being a firefighter. However, just getting hired is a pretty difficult part of the job. Some parts of it are easy, such as being 18 or older with a driver's license. Some firefighters choose to get a fire science education, which is helpful considering the job is literally about putting out fires. The harder part is the physical requirements. One requirement is passing the Candidate Physical Ability Test, or more commonly known as the CPAT. This part is one of the hardest due to the physical requirements. Carrying all those ladders and hoses is not easy, not to mention the possibility of having to break down doors while on fire with an axe. This job is not for people who are slackers either, since when you're on duty you may have to respond to several calls a day. The first fire that I had to fight in Fresno was a house fire. 2 people ended up perishing in the fire. After seeing this happen, I briefly considered, what had I gotten myself into? You would think that after an event like that, one would decide not to continue, but no, I found the job exhilarating, and I wanted to help people. And this event had reinforced the idea of that what I was doing was right, and I had the ability to help people who could not help themselves. Being a fireman has been a great career path for me. It's the kind of job that I wanted to have, and it allows me to live in many different places. Throughout my career, I have ended up serving all the way from down in San Diego to all the way up in the rainy city of Seattle. Throughout my career as a fireman, I have never sustained any major bodily injuries, but I have seen my fair share of tragedies. Other than not being able to save those 2 people in the house fire, I have seen my fellow firefighters, who are my close friends, sustain their fair share of injuries. While fighting a fire on March 22nd, I saw my friend and Captain Pete fall through the roof of a burning building. After this, I once again considered, what was I doing and what had I gotten myself into? So, this job is not for everyone. Throughout my career, I have responded to over 42,000 calls, and most of them have not actually been fires. In fact, around 70% of the calls I responded to have been medical emergencies. Because firefighters, we don't just fight fires. We're trained in forms of first aid, CPR, and other forms of medical assistance that don't require the use of ambulances or EMTs. Since we're the first responders, we get there to make sure that everyone's still alive and breathing. If I could get the chance to go back and start over, I don't think that I would. I love my job, and I'm 100% satisfied with it. I love the fact that I get to go out and help people. I love the fact that I make a difference. I also love my fellow firemen, or more accurately, my family. I wouldn't trade my job for any other job in the world. I have a loving family, and I'm very content with my position in life, and don't plan on changing it anytime soon. This is an image of the first fire that Christian Palmer fought in Fresno. This is an image of Christian Palmer and his fellow firemen. Christian is second from the right. This is an image of the Fresno Fire Department.